I am honored to address you today, even if only remotely, at this vital convening in Nairobi. While I regret that I am unable to join you in person, I am grateful for the opportunity to speak with you via video messaging. I commend the International Commission of Jurists for organizing this conference, which brings together voices from across the region and champion an issue that is fundamental to the dignity and equality of many to access to justice for persons with disabilities. Justice is more than courts, laws, or institutions. It is the right to be seen, to be heard, and to be believed. For persons with disabilities, access to justice is not only a human right in itself, it is a critical enabler for the realization of all other rights, be they civil, political, economic, social, or cultural. Article 13 of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities provide clear guidance. States must ensure effective access to justice for persons with disabilities on an equal basis with others. This includes the provision of appropriate accommodations to support their full participation at every stage of legal proceedings. Without this, justice systems risk reinforcing the very discrimination they are meant to remedy. Despite the clear obligations of states under the CRPD, the daily reality for many persons with disabilities is exclusion, invisibility, and neglect within justice systems. Too many are still denied their legal capacity, often based on outdated laws or medicalized views of disability, especially related to psychosocial or intellectual disabilities. In numerous countries, persons are placed under guardianship or subject to substituted decision-making regimes that prevent them from initiating legal action, signing contracts, or even defending themselves in court. Laws that deem individuals unfit to stand trial or of unsound mind still prevail in too many jurisdictions. Structural barriers also persist. Court buildings may lack ramps or elevators or be physically distant from those they are meant to serve, and inaccessible for persons with disabilities. Legal information is often unavailable in accessible formats, leading to persons with disabilities being unaware of their legal rights or how to exercise them. Sign language interpretation, easy-to-read material, or assistive technologies are still absent from many courtrooms. Also, the lack of economic resources among persons with disabilities who are overrepresented among the poorest of the poor in every society directly impact their access to justice, as they might be unable to hire legal counsels or sustain lengthy and expensive procedures. Worse still, attitudinal barriers within the justice sector, such as stereotypes of unconscious bias, can render persons with disabilities less credible in the eyes of laws officials. Too often, this leads to their testimonies being dismissed or their grievances ignored. But access to justice is not just about courtrooms. It extends to administrative, tribunal, community disputes, resolutions, and traditional systems. They must also be inclusive, recognizing the rights of persons with disabilities to participate fully and equally. We must also acknowledge that barriers do not fall equally. Women and girls with disabilities, for instance, often encounter intersecting forms of discrimination on the basis of both gender and disability. They face higher risks of sexual and gender-based violence, and yet frequently lack access to protection, legal representation, or appropriate support services. Their experiences are often disbelieved. We must also recognize the deep inequality and compounding discrimination experienced by marginalized groups within the disability community, especially persons with albinism, deaf and hard of hearing persons, or those with multiple intersecting identities, such as members of ethnic minorities, refugees, or LGBTQ plus persons. In many African societies, stigma and superstition around disability still lead to exclusion, abuse, and denial of rights. Dear colleagues, the Office of the Special Rapporteur has made access to justice a strategic focus. It developed the international principles and guidelines on access to justice for persons with disabilities, which were formally endorsed by the International Commission of Jurists. These are the first comprehensive global standards in this area, rooted in the CRPD, and provide practical recommendations for governments, courts, police, and civil society. As Special Rapporteur, I also continue to promote the shift from substituted decision-making systems toward supported decision-making approaches, which uphold autonomy and dignity. This model enables persons with disabilities to receive the support they may need to make decisions and access justice without relinquishing control over their lives. Action is indeed still needed. Governments should repeal discriminatory laws that deny legal capacity based on disability. They shall ensure justice facilities and procedures are physically and digitally accessible, should make procedure accommodations available as a right, not a privilege, and must train legal professionals on disability rights and inclusive practices to work with and for persons with disabilities. The African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the Protocol on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in Africa, and the growing jurisprudence of African regional bodies provide a strong normative foundation. But implementation remains uneven. My office stands ready to support its domestication and implementation. I would like to wish you all the success for the upcoming days of discussions. I hope they are fruitful and action-oriented and help to further develop and mainstream the rights of persons with disabilities across all legal systems. I thank you all.